The game viewing took place in the most northerly part of the large Chobe National Park in Botswana. This area is marked in the south by a tar road and in the north by the Chobe River, which also forms the border with Namibia.
This is the 6th day of the Chobe safari. To be more precise, along the Chobe River. Yesterday was exciting with a good mix of wildlife. So let's see what the day has in store for us today. Wildlife is not predictable. Unfortunately, the locals tell me that they are short of 100 millimeter of annual rainfall, which is already visible in the foliage, which turns yellow. And the animals seem to also have to adapt to that. So let's see what we will see today.
The part of Namibian territory bordering the Chobe River is not a national park. This part consists of shallow grasslands with grazing areas for cattle. This doesn't detract the animals from the Botswana side to utilize the grazing as well. This large family group of elephants is about to return to the national park on the Botswana side. A pride of lionesses is watching this activity with great interest. However, their eyes seem to focus on a small group of warthog. To hunt even a small elephant is no easy task, and without the presence of some strong lions, near impossible. It is not commonly known that the lionesses are the real hunters in a pride. The male lion only assists in difficult circumstances. The interest in the warthogs doesn't seem to be too great. They are far away and the terrain is too open for a stealthy approach. specialist in finding and eating water snails. Now it seems that he found one. The specially formed beak assists in cracking the shells of the water snails, after which the snail is extracted. Only when this bird is outside of the water can one really appreciate the length of the legs of the black-winged stilt. Cattle egrets are used to accompanying large animals. Also, a number of ox packers are sitting on top of this hippopotamus. Soon they have to make a plan to avoid having to swim. This means flying away and looking for another host. They feed exclusively off parasites and ticks which they find on a multitude of animals, large and small. Always amazing to look at such large concentrations of birds of the same species. The area along the Chobe River is famous for this. No wonder that the name of this stuff relates to emeralds shining in the sun. The white droppings on the rocks indicate that these are the favorite spots where the African darter and the reed cormorant like to rest and dry their feathers after a successful hunt in the water. It requires some courage for such a small bird to walk next to such a mountain of meat. The reward is the insects which are chased into the air by the hooves of the moving buffalo and caught by the bird. The patience has paid off and a small fish has been caught. It will be swallowed without too much fuss. Then the beak will be rinsed with some water and off it moves to the next hunt. There are many birds along the Chobe River living from catching of fish. Also here the white stain on the rock indicates that this is the favorite lookout point of this pied kingfisher. Always interesting to observe which effort the giraffe have to make when drinking water. There's also the problem of pumping the water uphill into the stomach. Also, nature had to provide a mechanism that the lowering of the head for such a long time does not create dizziness. Easy to spot the four warts or skin folds of the male warthog. It has formidable tusks regardless of one being a bit damaged. One does rarely spot a more cunning fisher than the yellow-billed stork. Standing on one leg, it chases small fish out of their hideout with the other leg. Occasionally, it even assists by using one wing. The scared fish are dashing off right into its strategically placed open beak. A real genius. Young giraffe busy drinking water. This requires an awkward position of the legs during which the giraffe is most vulnerable to attacks by predators. One often finds a group of giraffe drinking and one of them standing guard. A trophy Kudu bull, decorated with mud on its horns, thereby letting others know who is the boss in this area. large group of baboons peacefully feeding on some plants and not worrying about predators. This is only ensured by some of the male baboons strategically placed around the feeding ground, standing guard and watching out for predators.